Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday evening and I am live here to do my Wednesday live. And today it's a special one because I am inviting one of my mentees again and to celebrate Gaurav's journey. Once a month, I bring on one of my mentees, because they are great examples and they are, people in different situations, different scenarios, they look for, different strategies and they wonder that, okay, so and so person can do, but can we do, So that's the whole purpose why I bring, my mentees who are doing really, really well in the rent-to-rent business or they've started with me and they're doing amazingly well. And I'm super, super proud of them. And today I've got Gaurav with me. Gaurav is from Surrey, and he joined me my mentorship last year in December, just at the beginning of December. So yeah, we'll have a chat today and we'll find out what was Gaurav's why and where Gaurav is in this rent-to-rent journey and how is he doing. Yeah, so guys, if you can hear me, if you can watch me, then please do say hello so I know that I'm going live. At the moment, I don't know. So good evening, Gaurav.
Hey, Sapna, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
I'm so excited to have you here, and people logged in here already.
That's good.
Yeah, so we've got lots of love hearts. We've got Yvonne, we've got Barry, we've got Krusty. Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, and we've got who else? We've got Sherlian as well. Sherlian is saying good evening to you. Yeah, everybody's saying hello to you. Really excited to have you here. Really excited, and thank you first of all for doing this live with me. I think you're gonna inspire so many people today. Actually, yeah,
Hope so.
yeah. So tell me a bit about yourself, then, Gaurav. What's your background? Were you already in properties before you decided to come into rent to rent?
Yeah, so I've been in and around the property industry since about 2008. I've kind of gone through different roles within property. Kind of started as an estate agent, and then I was a mortgage broker for about 5-6 years. And from there, I then worked with a couple of mortgage lenders on the underwriting side, residential and then buy to let. And I've owned properties alongside working as well. I've had a buy to let in the past, and I guess in 2019 I decided to sell my existing buy to let property and try and go forwards with a proper strategy of buying properties. So I kind of went down the route of buy to lets and refurbs and flips. Did that while working until end of 2021, and since September 21 I've been full-time in property.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've done quite a lot in properties before coming into rent to rent. That's amazing. I mean, by the way, Ahmed is watching. Hi, Ahmed. He's saying hello, and Nasir is saying hello to you as well. So good evening, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, okay. So what made you think about, change in career then? What was the reason?
You
wanted not so much change, but yeah, variation.
I think it was always, I always wanted to get into property, and I think kind of I used to see when I was an estate agent, I used to see a lot of property developers kind of come in, view a house, kind of plan out what they're going to do, and then go and do it. They turn like these really bad houses into really nice properties, and I thought that was just like a really cool thing to do. I was like, I'd really love to do this one day. And I think the journey from when that started to now is kind of like, it was just learning the different parts of the puzzle and putting everything together to get the best kind of knowledge that I can. go out there and do it myself. And this was a plan to go full time into it, was a plan, I guess, for 5 years into the future. But yeah, just decided 2021, kind of just decided, look, I've had enough. It's time to take a bit of a risk,
Right.
and I'm going to take a risk on myself and just do it. Just do it.
Right. So when you started your career, basically, you just started with properties, actually, one way or the other. You've always been into property. So you've always.
Yeah, my first proper kind of role in property, and I guess in my career, was as an estate agent. Yeah, there was an end goal. I couldn't quite see exactly how it was going to get there or where it was, but I knew where I wanted to go with it. And since then, it's just, yeah, like I said, it's just been learning the different parts of it as and when I can, and getting to where I can.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's brilliant, So then out of so many strategies, then why did you feel that, oh, you need to learn, Rent2Rent? What was so attractive about this strategy?
I think over the last couple of years, I'd heard about Rent2Rent. I knew a little bit about it, but not too much. My kind of I guess my bread and butter stuff was more buy to lets and kind of BRR with the refurbs. I knew a couple of people that were doing Rent2Rent. I'd heard about it, but I never really looked into it. And it's only when, I guess, in kind of September, October time, when I was kind of full time into it, and the market was just really, I mean, it still is very, very hot. There's not many kind of deals around there at times. And I started kind of doing a bit more research into other strategies, rather than just try and limit myself into just the one buy to lets or flips. Let's look at some other things. And I think Rent2Rent was the next one to look into. So spent a bit of time doing a bit of research, went to a couple of networking events just to speak to people that have already been doing it. And just find out a bit more about what it was. I spent a lot of time myself doing research, and I think I spoke to you quite a bit about it, about what it involves. And I think the more I looked into it, the more it made sense as a strategy to adopt. And yeah, since then,
most people get into it for cash flow. Was that the reason for you as well?
I think, yeah, that was one of the reasons for it. If I can build up a kind of a cash flowing business part to my company, then it takes a little bit of the stress and the pressure off, because then you can focus on some of the bigger projects if you've got the cash flow sorted. But also, I think I really underestimated, I guess, the learning curve with Rent2Rent and how much there is to learn. It's not very, very simple and straightforward. There is a lot to learn with it, and a lot of the stuff that I have learned from it so far, I can already see where I can apply it to some of the bigger projects going forward. So yeah, it's just a bit frustrating I didn't start it a bit earlier, because it would have been like a really good
say that.
to start.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. So far you're enjoying it then, I guess. Yeah. How interesting. Very good. So okay, so that was the reason. So what was your emotional why? Why always properties? Why, why, what you're trying to, is there anything?
I think, okay, yeah, I think, everyone would say kind of cash flow and kind of financial thing. I think for me, it's freedom. Freedom to build something. And for me, that could be my company or my business, to build it up in a way that I want to, without kind of, I guess, without restrictions, to build something, legacy planning, leaving something for my kids, my family, my kids, to kind of say, like, this is something that I built, and kind of, just kind of see how it grows over the years. While working, I did learn a lot, but I think towards the end of my working career, it got very frustrating, because I just wanted to go out there and do my own thing, and really, like I said, just like build something that can say is mine, that I built myself, rather than feeling like I'm working for someone else to help them build their dream. I wanted to do that. And I think property is one of the ways that I can do that. I can make something happen with that. And I think, that's one of the main emotional reasons behind
behind
doing all
it.
of this.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're right, actually. I think many people who are in this journey with us, I think they will resonate with you, whatever you're saying, 100%. The people saying hello. Patrick is saying hello. Patrick has joined our group recently. He's saying hello, and he's saying hello. Marcin, hi, Marcin. Gordon is saying hello to you. And I told you, Ahmad is saying hello. I'm not sure if you can see all these. Have you got them on your phone as well?
Okay.
So hello everyone for your company here. So no, that's brilliant. So then you took it really seriously and you thought, okay, now I need to get into it. So you looked and you went to different networking events and you went and you watched few videos and all that. So why did you think there was a need for like having a mentor? I mean, you had such good background as well, coming from properties. And did you still feel that there was a need for someone to have that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think, look, a lot of the stuff, yeah, I've learned through working and my career, but there's stuff that you don't learn by working, like how to analyze a deal, how to price up a refurb, what the process is to buy a property and remortgage it. And there's a lot of stuff that you still kind of need to learn as well. And a lot of that stuff I've learned myself just by reading books, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
There is some kind of paid education as well. A couple of kind of like learning modules that I've paid for as well. And
Yeah.
that's really about the extent that I got to. I never really took any courses or really kind of paid for any of those kind of 5-day learn everything about property courses. I
They
just
don't
don't
work
believe in
anyway.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe in
Boot
them.
camps and all. How
Yeah.
much can you learn?
And I think with when it came to Rent2Rent, I was, I looked and I thought, okay, I wouldn't say I know everything about it, not at all, but I can probably get to grips with a lot of what's being taught in Rent2Rent. I guess just because of the background, but I think where the value that I was missing was having someone there for support, guidance, assistance. And that's, I guess, even throughout my couple of years in full-time in property, I've not really had anyone for that. And, a lot of the times where you make mistakes, and especially when you're on your own, it feels a lot worse. Similarly, when you've done things right and you have a win, there's no one really there that's going to kind of make you feel great about it apart from
Yeah.
yourself. Property, I mean, you would know as well, property is a quite lonely world at times. So I think just having someone there as a, like I said, like a support system was something that I thought I'd like to have going forwards with Rent2Rent. But more importantly, someone that has done it themselves. Because again, there's a lot of people out there that sell their courses or whatever, or their programs, but don't actually do it themselves or have never done it themselves. So I think for me, it was finding someone that has gone through it all and knows exactly what I would be going through. That would be more valuable to me than just learning something out of a book for 5 days and going off it and doing it.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I thank you, you for choosing me as your mentor, really.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you, really. I'm really grateful for that. Okay, people will be dying to know your deal. What a deal you got. Fantastic. It's such a lucrative deal you got. So let's talk about that first. Then we'll go on to other questions, as well. But let's talk about your deal. So this Rent2Rent deal that you've got, where did it come from? I'm sure people will want to know.
This was direct from an estate agent.
Okay, right. So you build that type of connection. You've managed to find people complain. There is nobody who is prepared to give them, but there are people who just got to work for it.
Yeah, I saw the property on Rightmove. It wasn't really in the area that I was looking for. It was just slightly outside.
Yeah.
But still a very, very good location. It's in Tooting in Southwest London.
Nice.
And I guess the first thing I looked at was the property itself. I didn't really look at the numbers. For me, it was, look, what's the property like? Is this going to work?
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it was kind of, that's it, like all over it. Call them, get the viewing, get everything done. And yeah, there was no sources, nothing else involved. It was
Nothing.
just me.
Brilliant. So
It was quite nice because it's just me dealing with the agent. That's it. There's no third parties involved.
I personally feel people go on about getting deals, direct from vendors. I personally feel you can do much better, when they're coming from agents, because you can talk numbers and you can go direct, they'll understand your language. And whereas with the landlords, you've got to be very careful because, if you are there to solve their problem and if they see that you're being greedy or whatever, you're trying to, take advantage, they can take it differently. Whereas with I personally, that's my experience. That's why I always say, don't get hooked up about, the deal has to come direct from vendor or all that. I don't know why people advertise that get deal direct from vendor and send out these letters. But I think you've gone for the right strategy. And one thing, really great about you, that you are a true action taker as well. You don't just stop. If any deal doesn't work, you just move on to the next one, and you actually go at even a faster pace to find next one. So that's very, very good.
For me, there's no emotional attachment to
No.
any property, any deal. It's numbers. That's all it is for me. It's just cool. Fine. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. So coming back to this deal, so is it an HMO?
Yeah. So it was already a HMO. They had a license in place for 5 beds.
Okay.
And yeah, it was all it was HMO compliant, so that helped a lot. And yeah, they were open to a company let.
Okay, brilliant. So you found a property. So what was the initial asking rent was? Then you had to negotiate it down, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was on the market for 3,200. They said they had offers. When I put my offer in, they hadn't had any offers. And yeah, I mean, even I was kind of surprised that no one really did put an offer in on the property, because I kept thinking, have I missed something here that everyone else is seeing? But I guess just no one saw it.
Yeah, I'm interrupting here. Can I just say something here? People are watching and listening as well. Takes a lot of guts to put actually offer for a property. So many people will go for viewing, but not many people will put their neck on the line, because they don't have that confidence. And I think because you had done the numbers and all that and you went for it, and I think higher the rent, you will find that move, you will be the only one there, so there is no competition, there's no. So that happens a lot. I find that a lot actually in property world.
Yeah,
you're going to come across, so get used to it. You are the brave one. Right. So what was your initial investment then in this property altogether, paying rent, or did you negotiate on deposit, or he did?
So we managed to negotiate on deposit insurance. So that helped with the setup costs. The property had been refurbished. I'll come on to that in a bit. He said it had been refurbished, but so again, upfront costs should have been low. I worked out about 4,500. It should have been, but once all the numbers and everything was done, it was closer to 6,500. So so the reason is because I had to spend a bit more money repairing some of his refurb that had been done, and also some of the furnishing. We had to I kind of had to spend a bit more to get things up and running, because some of the furniture that was already in the property we couldn't really use. So yeah,
so bad.
Upfront costs were a little higher than anticipated, but I guess still within my contingency. I had a contingency anyway, so it's still within kind of what I was prepared to put into it.
Brilliant. So I mean, I think now, what's your gross cash flow? We were just discussing before on this one. You said
gross is 4,150 a month.
Wow, that's amazing. And so you agreed on the rent of 2,800, and so
2,847 exact monthly rent.
Right. So what? So
bills. So bills are £440 a month. I've had it now for a couple of months, so I've seen things kind of balance out and settle down a bit. So I know the true bills going forwards will be about £450 a month. So looking at net profit in the region of £860 a month.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. 860 net profit per month. That is just awesome. Really, really. And how soon are you going to get your money back out? I think when we did
7 months. 7
7,
months.
that's amazing. So your net profit from this property, it's I think it was around about, I think, 31,000. If we take out your initial investment, then it's about 24,500 or something, just from one property.
24 and a half over 3 years. Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. How many properties you need? So if
Yeah.
one property is making around that much, 800, and don't forget, rents are going up anyway. So, next year, if you can charge a little bit more, then obviously profit will be. And once you've got your money out, as far as you are concerned, you're laughing really. You're going to make that infinite profit.
Yeah, I went really aggressive with the pricing. I went kind of top end, and yeah, got it. Some of the rooms there is scope to go higher. So yeah, it can increase if we need to, but yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe when you arranged viewing just in one day. I know when you were away
Yeah.
on holiday and you were
Yeah.
constantly, you wanted to get things done, and yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of back in my estate agent days. It was just, look, I'm not going to come back and do viewings every day. It's one day you've got for viewings. Create that urgency, book them into time slots, and I think it was, in the end, it was about 14 or 16 viewings, I think,
Yes.
on the day.
You say you were tired too.
Yeah, it was tiring.
In the evening,
Um,
4 or 5
but
to go, but yeah, I
but the
remember.
property went that weekend, all rooms taken,
Yeah,
and
I was taken that. So you did really, really well. Well done. Honestly, I'm so, so proud of you. Really, I
thank
am.
you.
Amazing. Well done. So you are just ready now for another one, aren't you?
Yeah, just ready for the next deal. Just been spending the last
And you're
month or so
concentrating.
finding, yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, guys. Anybody has any questions? Ahmed is saying, well done. Mary's
Thank you.
watching as well. You getting lots of love hearts here, Gaurav. I'm sure
Thank
they're
you.
for you, not for me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Amazing achievement, Mary saying. So yeah, thank you. Really means a lot, I'm sure, to Gaurav. Yeah. Okay, this you've done really, really well. Now you'll have to find similar type of deals, but yeah, keep working. One good thing about you, you just don't stop. If things don't work out with one deal, that's it. You say, I've got 2 more viewing booked. I just love the pace.
That's it. And yeah, it's frustrating. Of course, it's frustrating when deals don't work out. And I think we were talking before, like, it's so important to take emotion out of it and not kind of get too held up on the numbers or a property, or kind of fall in love with something at a viewing and then get disheartened when you don't get it. It's numbers. It's just pure numbers for me. It's like, okay, fine, if we don't get it, move on to the next one. And I think with the goals that I've got and where I want to get to, I can't wait around 3 or 4 months trying to find it, but I have to just keep it going because.
And I think what I've noticed about you, Gaurav, if anybody, if deal doesn't work out, or last minute thing, if somebody, if landlord doesn't agree, you don't drown yourself in sorrow. What you do to cover, to forget about that, you arrange more viewings. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
It's so fantastic. Honestly, I love it.
I do. I kind of dwell on it for like
Not for
half
very
an hour, and then I just kind of think, okay, fine. Like, more to the point where, okay, that's annoyed me so much that I've wasted my time on this deal. I'm gonna go and get some more. It's not that he said no to me or he didn't like my offer. It's more like I feel like I've lost so much time here, and
my
losing that time. Yeah, my time is so precious. I don't want to lose time on someone thinking about my offer. It's a numbers game. It's you have to kind of, sometimes you have to go through a lot of no's to get your yes.
Exactly. And this is where I think people lose their momentum. And I think that's what they can learn. That's I personally feel, that don't lose your momentum. You're definitely going to get loads, and I get loads of no's as well, knockbacks, loads and loads of knockbacks. But you just got to look at the bigger picture, isn't it? And you have to just go for it. Amazing. So I'm sure everybody's enjoyed, people are saying that's an awesome deal you've got there. So
Thank you.
so tell me, what have you, I mean, I know one deal would have taught you so much about this whole strategy. So what would you say you learned from this rent to rent, strategy so far?
The first thing, which was a bit of a surprise to me, is how hands-on you need to be at times. I think anyone that says it's very passive, you can kind of, you don't need to do much. No, that's lies. It's hands-on. I can see how people can do this as a full-time job all the time. I can also see how people can do this alongside working full-time. But it's, it's not one of those kind of, like, you can buy a property 200 miles away from where you are and not worry about it. It's, it is hands-on. That's one of the biggest things I learned from it. But it feels good. It feels like, you're building something, you're achieving something, and you're getting property set up. And I think by doing that as well, you can learn so much about, the side of things that you don't always get to see. I think especially with things like buy-to-lets, it's so easy to hire a letting agent to take care of everything, find tenants, do the tenancy agreements, do the referencing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
With rent to rent, you can do that, but you're losing profit by doing that. So actually it makes sense to do it yourself. And actually you learn so much by doing that. And I think, okay, I've only got one property, but I've managed to now put processes in place so that when I get the next one, I kind of follow the process of going of what I've done going forwards. And you learn about how to do credit checks and referencing, how to read tenancy agreements. And yes, it's hands-on, but you are learning so much all the time.
Exactly. And I tell you one thing, it'll not be as hard. For the second one, it'll be smoother journey, because I know, because you're not only taking that property, you're not only dealing with people, you're doing number, you're doing rev. So there's so much going in which you don't really realize. But second time, it's going to be easier because you already got systems in place, and you know exactly now what I'm doing. So yeah. And the thing about this is as well, I mean, I'm sure you want to build some, portfolio of your rent to buy to lets as well. This is transferable skills. So, dealing with your tenants, you don't really need to rely on anybody. Then 8 and 10%, whatever you're paying them, why not keep it in your own pocket, and then invest on the next one.
I am seriously considering my buy to let, thinking I could do it myself. I don't need an agent to do this.
No, you do it, because Shirley Ann in our group, I convinced her, and she is no longer using letting agency, for her buy to let. So do it yourself. I spoke Ahmed the other day, and I mean, so see, and she's making, not only I made her raise her rent, I also told her not to pay letting agent. So she's winning both sides, because a letting agent had told her that you shouldn't be asking for this much rent, nobody will take it. And I think she raised her rent when she got rid of that letting agent by £75. So she's making that money. Plus she stopped paying that letting agent. So she's saving money that way as well. So both way, yes, go for it. Definitely. Yeah. After you manage, once you've done HMOs, buy to lets are just doddles. That easy to handle. I don't trust any letting agent. And even if I sometimes try to, give it to them because I don't sometimes have time, I end up getting tenant myself. It always happens with me. And I think, why, so definitely consider it. Okay.
Yeah, I think especially when you're kind of starting out, you don't really know too much. You think, oh, how am I going to find tenants? I don't know how. But once you learn the process, which you will through rent to rent, it's like it's a lot easier than you think it is.
Exactly. I mean, one of the properties, I mean, I was just talking in our group, I've managed to find my tenant who's paid me 12 months rent upfront. Can you believe it? And it was with 3 agencies, just because I was so busy. And but I just didn't have patience. I just got really impatient with that property. And the tenant is coming, and not just that, she is paying me 1 month extra rent as well, because she's moving in May, but she is paying me from April because she doesn't want to lose the property. So 1 extra month, nobody's living, plus 12 months. So I'm not complaining.
Right.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So anything you want to add as well, guys? If you have any question, please do ask, feel free. Yeah, surely. And he's saying I raised rent and got perfect tenants as well, and they really look after her property really well. So yeah, Shirley is right there. Yeah. Anything? I mean, what's your experience been working with me then as a mentor? Did I deliver what I promised, or how did you feel?
I can't really explain it. It's like it's I guess it's like, imagine like a safety net under you, so you kind of think, okay, I can go out, I can check these numbers, and then if I just want someone to just make sure like I'm not being really, especially with, I think especially with the first deal, it was really kind of, that gave me that kind of the confidence to actually, yeah, go out, put the right offer in, do some good negotiating, and get it all done. I think, yeah, just having that support, yeah, I can't really put it into words. It's been great. I've, like I said, I've never had a mentor before. I've always kind of just relied on myself to find the education and everything. But I think, yeah, just being able to message you with some numbers or some thoughts I'm having, or a bit of support, and you'd always come back and say, well, I had this, and you can always share your experience, which is great, rather than someone just saying, I think you should do this, and not showing me what they've done in the past or using their experience. I think that, yeah, that's so great to have, because it makes me feel like
You're
I'm
not the
not the
only
only
one.
one going for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else has done through, and this is what you did, and this is what worked. So I'm only getting the best bits from you. Um, so yeah, it's yeah, can't really put it into words, but yeah, it's been
Uh,
great.
yeah.
Great.
No, that's amazing. Uh, Anything else? Anything? I mean, I think I've asked all the questions to you. This is just, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you, because these type of things, what you've done in the past and all that, we never really get time to, talk about. It's always about our deals. Okay, we laugh, we joke as well in our group Zooms, sometimes we have a banter, but, these type of, we don't really go in that much detail of things, like, but no, it's really, really lovely. Um, Anything else you would like to include? Otherwise, well, has anybody, what area are you working for your rent to rent? Jay's asking you.
So I live in Surrey near Epsom. So I kind of drew a massive circle around from where I was, and out to the west was Kingston, which is a great university town, but it's a lot of student lets out there. So after a very short while, I realized that's not going to work for me. So I've kind of gone a little bit to the east, which is southwest London. So the triangle I've got is kind of Brixton down to Tooting, and Streatham. Basically, that kind of SW postcode.
Hmm.
Um, I am I'm originally from East London, from Ilford in Essex, and there's a lot of HMOs there, so I am considering going back to that, just because I know that area so well.
Do well.
Um, it's a little bit far out for me, so that's my only hesitation right now. Right now, having an area really close to where I live has been amazing. I can get to the property in 20-25 minutes.
Hmm.
I think anything further than that, it's going to be a bit difficult to get to at short notice.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking, and I'm not just going to focus just on, like I said, that little triangle. I'm always looking to
Guys,
expand that.
show your love hearts, give your love hearts and likes for Gaurav, support him. He's come on board just to do, live. This is just so fantastic. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring. I'm just trying to get
All right.
likes and loves for, oh, there you go. You got loads of them. Amazing, amazing. Right, that's amazing. Now, Krasi was asking very good question. I'm going to ask you. Krasi said, what problem did you solve for the landlord? Have you seen the landlord here? Well,
No,
must come. I can say
no.
what.
Um, what problem have I solved for him?
Well, I suppose first,
I I I hope he's not. He won't be listening, but I think I've actually made his property better.
of course,
Um, he when I got the
added
property,
value.
yeah, when I got the property, he said it was being refurbished, and it was being,
I
refurbished.
remember the pictures you showed me. I don't
When I
think
went in,
it wasn't
no,
terrible. Yeah.
I've kind of made it better. And I think I haven't done much. I haven't kind of done any major refurb work to it, but I've got it better than it was when he had it. I think I've also given him market leading rent, but also still being able to get a good profit out of it myself. So I think, just from dealing with the landlord via the agents, I get the idea that he's kind of very much hands off with everything. He just wants to just get it done and then kind of wash his hands off it and just leave it very passive.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the problem I'm solving for him. I'm giving him his guaranteed rent every month. I'm taking care of all the problems that keep coming up.
Yeah.
So as far as he's concerned, he gets the money in his account every month, and that's it.
That's it, right? And I think he's very lucky as well. He's ended up with you. So you've got you've got his property. So I think I can say that. I can definitely, Mary's asking, is this your first property? And how did you manage to convince the agent?
This is my first Rent2Rent. With the agent, I think, I'm trying to remember my conversation. It was something like, hey, I've seen this property on Rightmove. Is it still available? Yes. Great. Will you accept a company let? And just straight in, I didn't want to kind of arrange viewing. I just wanted to know, are you going to do a company let? They said they weren't too sure about what it meant. So I said, okay, great. I'll send you an email with everything that I do. I sent that, and about half an hour later, they came back and said, yeah, he'd be open to it. When can you view? And then from there, it's just full steam ahead.
Yes. A good thing about London, as well, that a lot of people now know, even letting agents know about this Rent2Rent strategy as well. But just people have to, go through a number of agents before they can find, and don't give up. So definitely. Lots of love hearts again from Kwasi, Charlian, everybody. And I am so grateful. Thank you so much for your time today, Gaurav.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Honestly, thank you. So guys, thank you for your company here. Really enjoyed having you here and interacting with us. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And bye-bye from me and from Gaurav. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.